Avalon Mistshore breathed her first tight-laced lungful on an apricot morning, 17 April 1999, inside a driftwood gray bungalow stilted above the scallop-bright flats of Georgia's Sapelo Sound. Outside, a mischievous marsh rabbit thumped sand, while her mother, a traveling brass gospel trumpeter whose lips pressed magnolia petals in her mouthpiece rag, floated a 6-note cradle riff that sent enamel teaspoons clinking like shells on their pegboard hooks, and her father, a lighthouse voltage caretaker who doodles cloud egrets on coil binder margins, leaned so near the freckles mingled and vowed to the newborn that peer chatter, playground quips, and clothing racks stopping at 14 would always slide aside for any soul who dared to stretch her outline edge to edge. Hers have rippled through Mistshore generations the way warm Gulf Stream fingers weave beneath Atlantic hush. So nobody flinched when baby Avalon split her second cotton swaddle before the kettle puffed. Granny Pearl cackled, stitched the tears with shrimp boat twine, patched the holes with carnival kite triangles, and pronounced that 3 pennies of extra cloth are cheaper than the first nickel of lost self-worth. Elementary corridors tasted of pencil shavings, praline steam drifting from the lunch hatch, and salt breeze elbowing past warped louvers. Avalon towered half a head above her classmates, shading the overhead bulb every time she charted loggerhead hatchings on the pull-down atlas. One miss-heavy recess, 2 kids hop-skipped chalk boxes chanting mud barge. Each thud her rubber boots left in puddles. That dust she scavenged the tit-line pocketed soda caps polished pearl by waves, strung them on fishing leader, stitched the rattling arc straight down her teal hoodie, and walked into morning homeroom scattering prison freckles across water-stained ceiling tiles. A substitute aide filmed 8 shaky seconds on a prepaid flip phone, posted the sparkling video corner, and by lunch, 15,000 strangers applauded the girl who forged teasing into lighthouse glitter. Avalon wrote 1 violet vow beside subtraction drills, clouds crowd only until you flash them bright. By 14, she earned dawn blisters, lifting oyster tubs, then twirled backstage dinner napkins at her mother's Ute joint residencies. Stored jeans jammed mid-thigh, so she bartered tip jar quarters for sun-bleached pluff mud sacks, dissected them into high-waist shorts, misted silhouettes of blue herons with squid ink, and posed at tangerine dusk against rust-striped pylons while Cousin Monroe snapped grainy frames. Each shot floated into an online diary titled Lantern Drip. During the same week, a sparkling picture app crawled across patchy barrier its line signal. Captions danced from Gullah slang to frank English truths such as curves anchor gusts, steadier than seawalls. 2 months ahead of 16 candles, 50,000 unseen hearts tapped tiny hearts under every mango shot, proof glowing rectangles hushed cafeteria razors quicker than any pea whistle. A Barrier Marsh Fellowship whisked her inland to Savannah State's textile lab. Daylight disappeared in loom rooms. Nights belonged to a 24-hour beignet stand glowing neon papaya under whistling live oaks. The heat lamp doubled as ring light. Between cinnamon orders, she filmed 90-second reels twisting parchment into hair rosettes while decoding dart rotation in half lecture zip and half dockside hush. One upload mixed dolphin whistles under low-fee shuffle while she chain-stitched reflective anchor braids into thrift denim. 47 hours later, the counter sprinted past 1.3 million. Gulf Coast-style blogs hailed her the beignet couturière, yet every sponsor deck froze at size 16. She parked each pitch inside a folder named Shrinking Nets, brushed sweet dust off her sleeve, and offered the next sailor powdered bliss with sunrise burning in her grin. Hurricane Prep Month delivered an email stamped with the Columbia Sportswear Compass. They asked her to co-design a spray shell capsule titled Title Verse. Avalon answered with 3 peer-firm terms, patterns to 60-inch hips, half the crew hired from community college fashion cohorts, 10% net profit pledged to marsh grass restoration from Cumberland to Cape Romaine. Columbia signed before dawn, tinted lab beakers coral. The shoe unrolled on a tie-swept sandbar where sanderling chicks dotted commas across damp courts. She guided paddleboarders of every outline through mere ripples while a drone inked lazy infinity loops overhead. And when the lookbook went live, every extended size jacket vanished in 41 hours across 33 nations. Lantern Drift vaulted beyond 700,000 lantern icons, pause with me and tap subscribe right now if the badge above still gleams crimson. One feather soft press turns it calm gray and books your rail, so next week's voyage sails into your notifications long before algorithm tides yank it away. Then glide to the description where a quiet doorway labeled Love Compass waits, a step-by-step chart thousands trust when they want to turn a hello into genuine connection. Spotlight, shimmer lures, rumor goals. A clickbait vlog claimed Avalon cinched steel panels round her waist under tidal verse shells. Dawn found her paddling a cypress board beyond eelgrass ribbons, bare feet anchored in linen shorts and sports bra, tracing each silver stretch line with crushed bougainvillea powder while her mother's cornet sounded a sunrise growl, raw enough to freeze pelicans mid-circle. 10 million viewers reposted the proof, brushing fuchsia pollen across their own curves until gossip slid hushed under slack tide. Sugar van shifts braided with capsule royalties and whipped into Mistshore velvet, a cloud soft butter folding spruce tip custard, kaffir lime oil, and mica sparks that glow seashell white in any flash. 19,000 tins cooled on her father's chart bench, lids tied with braided crab trap rope. Every tag stamped moisturize your horizon. Inventory drained in 83 minutes, raising $198,000. Many persons seeded Beacon grants shipping industrial surgers and hydrophones to plus-size teams in shoreline schools from Darien to Daytona. 8 months later, 38 Beacon teams live-streamed a floating fashion and dolphin song gala aboard a repurposed shrimp scow, strung with solar lanterns. Dawn color pouring into classrooms from Kingston to Kyoto. Brunswick wore fashion night minted fresh Doc legend. A backstage blower sliced her sapphire mesh gown, hip to knee 80 heartbeats before showtime. Avalon yanked neon Doc rope from a rig brace, laced the gap like boot hooks, and strode the planks as if the splice shimmered in every blueprint. Camera shutters snapped kettle corn volleys, Vogue shows crowned the rescue rope cadence, and Lantern Drift welcomed another million lantern sparks before brass horns warmed a mouthpiece. Who disgruntled aide tried leaking half-clipped emails hinting she demanded crawfish tower banquets and chauffeured airboats for her rescue spoonbill tango. She posted the chain uncut, refillable water urns, lentil stew for crew, caption screens for deaf stylists. That month's affiliate tide, $136,000, funded biodegradable trap pilots off Oyster Creek. Fans echoed her wharf credo. Receipts shine brighter than rumor grit into the whispers, flattened like tide pool sand. Family keeps her compass humming true. Twice a month, she streams Porch Lime Groove. Mom raps soulful runs beside a propane griddle. Dad recites cloud haiku. Avalon flips thrift denim, while Tango tiptoes powdered sugar spirals across a driftwood plank. One session peaked at 9 million eyes when the bird sneezed glitter into the lens. A coastal refuge now sponsors every episode, tagging rehabilitated spoonbills with solar beacons powered by Mistshore velvet cells. Cream revenue skip above $12 million before second solstice. She leased a dormant oyster shed, punched skylights through corrugated tin, hired furloughed deckhands plus design grads to whip custard and tilage during midday funk sets. Auditors begged shrink bands. She repeated Granny Pearl's mantra, finger store legend longer than plastic clamps, and rope ties stayed. Her feed wears honest sky. Marsh Edge Portraits share scroll space with Binya stand selfies, captioned, same sky, different tide. She posts breath loops recorded in blue grottos, printable resilience pages in English and Gullah, therapy voucher codes tucked 3 swipes below. 191,000 readers call her shoreline candor their first calm harbor. Community glow rise shimmer beneath crushed shoal dust. Hundreds will sunset causeways wearing Mistshore velvet on collarbones. LED seagrass tassels spinning from spokes. Ticket funds plump. Beacon Grands and lift snorkel rigs that cradle wheelchair explorers over crystal springs. Chowder shacks linger open. Redfish chow bowls jump 50% on ride nights. Avalon pedals lead on a vintage cruiser with Pango plush clip forward, pausing to lace any rider's wandering shoe. She is polishing currents keep names for 11 language shelves next spring, while a documentary crew shadows her mission to weld retired boy chains into floating maker studios for barrier is Lion schools. Puma's Y2Wave lantern seeker debuts next quarter, threaded with reflective rope, cushioned by algae foam, channeling 10% revenue into Beacon nurseries, hugging the Atlantic rim. Second shoreline nudge drifts in now. If that subscribe badge still pulses red, quiet it gray this moment. One fingertip guarantees next week's tale. Anchors in your notifications before algorithm waves wash the path unclear. And the love compass link below stays ready whenever your heart wants clearer bearings towards steady affection. Warm season leans towards slack water, fresh velvet tints, beacon portals, tonight's Porchline playlist, and that confidence map trusted by thousands rest in the description, free as sea breeze. If the soda cap hoodie, shimmer, rope lace gown rescue, or tango glitter sneeze coaxed even half a green, tap like, sprinkle your brightest ripple in the comments, and share this voyage with a friend whose sail hangs slack. Every curve redirects currents, every scar refracts lighthouse beams, and the coast bows to any heart firm enough to plant 2 boots on the pier and greet tomorrow eyes bright. Last ripple before lanterns dim, sailor, subscribe right on this breath, claim your rail, explore that love compass in the description, and meet me on the next rising tide when a new story glints beyond the breakers and courage calls your name once more.